For 13, we have a triangle with three angles that are represented by the different expressions here. So one of the angles is 2x plus 15. Another angle is x plus 20. And the third angle is 3x plus 25. We're asked to find the value of x and then also find those three angles. So we know that if I add the three angles together, the sum should be 180. So I'll start with that. 2x plus 15 plus x plus 20 plus 3x plus 25 will equal 180 degrees. So combining like terms, 2x, x, and 3x gives me 6x. And then 15 plus 20 is 35, and 35 plus 25 is 60. So then to solve, I'll subtract 60. So 6x equals 120. Divide by 6, and we get that x is 20. The next thing I'm asked to do is find the three angles and then list them from smallest to largest. So to find those angles, all I need to do is substitute 20 back into the original expression. So here would be 2 times 20 plus 15. So that's 55. Then here would be 20 plus 20. That's 40. And then 3 times 20 plus 25. And that's 85 degrees. So in order from smallest to largest, we'd have 40 degrees, 55 degrees, and 85 degrees. For 14, have quite a bit to find here, so we need to find angles 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, so for finding angle 1, so what we know about angle 1 is that angle 1 and the 40 degrees have to equal 90. So angle 1 is 50 degrees. Then to find angle 2, I'm going to choose right here to write that, let's see here, that this angle right here would be found by taking 58 plus 50, which is 108. And then taking 180 minus 108 to get 72 degrees. So this angle is 72 degrees. And then angle 3 is a vertical angle with that. It's also 72 degrees. So then for angle 2, it's a linear pair with the 72. So to find angle 2, we would take 180 minus 72, and that's 108. And now we're ready to find angle 4. So down here in this bottom triangle, we would have 108 plus 40, which is 148, and then 180 minus 148 gives me that angle 4 is 32 degrees. If I stick with going in order, angle 5 can be found next because in the triangle right here that I just outlined in blue, I know 2 of those angles. So we have 72 and 60. Add those together and you get 132. Take 180 minus 132. And we get that angle 5 is 48 degrees. And then to finish with angle 6 makes a line with angle 4 and with 60 degrees. So if I take 32 plus 60, that gives me 92 degrees. So 180 minus 92 gives us 88 degrees for angle 6. Then for 15, we're finding x and y. So to find x, looking at this little triangle on the left-hand side, I've got 2 of the angles. I know that this angle right here is 80 degrees because it makes a linear pair with 100. And so then I can say that in that triangle, 5x plus 30 plus 80 would have to equal 180. So that would give you 5x plus 110 equals 180. Subtract 110. So 5x is 70. And then divide by 5 to get that x is 14. Then to find y, similar, looking at the triangle that's on the right-hand side now, if I add 4y plus 100 plus 40, that should also equal 180. So 4y plus 100 plus 40 equals 180. That would mean that 4y plus 140 equals 180. 4y would equal 40, and y would be 10. On 16, if I wanted to find x, which is this exterior angle, I would need to know what we're working with right here. So to find that angle, 30 plus 70 is 100. So 180 minus 100 is obviously 80. So then on the outside, it's a linear pair, so x would just be 100 degrees. For 17, we're finding the slope of a line that passes through the given points. So slope is defined as y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. In this problem, we'll say x1 is 1, negative 5 would be y1, 6 is x sub 2, and negative 2 is y sub 2. So substituting it in those values, I get negative 2 minus negative 5 over 6 minus 1. And that gives me a negative 2 plus 5, which is 3, and 6 minus 1 is 5. So that gives us 3/5 as our simplified answer. For 18, looking at this triangle, I see the markings that tell me it's isosceles, and so these two sides would be the same. So x would also be 15. For 19, I don't have the markings in the figure, but I do see that I have two sides that are congruent. So this is isosceles, and in an isosceles triangle, we would say that these base angles are also congruent. And so they both are equal to x, so I can find out what those are by taking 180 minus 64 degrees gives me 116 degrees. And then that gets split up among those two angles. So if I divide this by 2, we get that each of those angles is 58 degrees. For number 20, we're back to sides. So here I see that both these angles are 25 degrees, means the triangle is isosceles. And so then these two legs would be the same. So we'll have 18 equals 3x plus 3. Subtract 3. 15 equals 3x, and divide by 3 to get that x is 5. On 21, we know that the two sides are congruent, so then these base angles are also congruent. So this little angle right here, that's also 3y. And so just like the one above it, if I take 180 minus 30, that's 150 degrees, and that has to be split evenly among the two remaining angles. So 150 divided by 2 is 75. So now what I know is that these two angles are both 75 degrees. So then 3y is equal to 75. Divide by 3 to get that y is 25. For 22, find angle DBC. That's this angle right here. And since we have an isosceles triangle, I know that over here, angle C, this is also 75 degrees. So then in the triangle, this one on this side, I know two of the angles. One's 90, one's 75. Add those together to get 165 degrees. So then angle DBC would be 180 minus 165, and that's 15 degrees. For 23, again, an isosceles triangle. So when I go through to calculate these, I actually don't need that piece of information. I know that this exterior angle is 115. So if I take 180 minus 115, I get 65 degrees. So x is 65 degrees. And then I have enough information to find out what y is by taking 90 plus 65 is 155. And then 180 minus 155 is 25. So y is 25 degrees. And then for 24, is it possible for a triangle to have those sides? So to be able to form a triangle, it has to be true that the sum of the two smaller sides needs to be larger than the third side. So when I take 4 plus 6, I want to know, is that bigger than 11? So 4 plus 6 is 10. And is 10 greater than 11? No, it's not. So nope, these will not make a triangle.